We are now live. Stream chat. Activate. Has it been live for 12 seconds? That's not even true. Alright. I'm live. Right. Big Bad Nerd Dad is live. Do, 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 do. Not too good. Do, do, do. We are live. Getting ready to stream here just a little bit. Giving everybody a little bit of time to jump in. Alright. Very excited. First stream of the year. First stream in almost 5 months. October was the last time we streamed. Gonna be painting some minis. In fact, I'm gonna get my paints ready. I'm a big old dopey. I'm a big old dopey. These don't have lids, they are twist tops. That's how long it's been since I painted. Alright. Gonna give you just a few more minutes. I've got a couple of followers who said they're gonna jump in, watch me paint, talk the night away with me. Not even that late, so be sure to brush your teeth. Don't just use mouthwash. Drink your water, take your medicines. Like Hulk Hogan says, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. Hey, Joe, Jay Rees, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining. Just going to be painting up a little Marvel Crisis Protocol. Try not to overuse my paints. It's been a while since I painted. Alright, I got dark. Got the cold black going. I've got bright warm gray. I'm going to do some dark neutral gray. Tonight we'll be finishing off my Carnage. He's done a lot of work for me the past couple of games, so he deserves to be painted. And then I'll be working on Kraven the Hunter. I'm going to be rounding out a majority of my spider foes. All right, let's give me back that big screen. Ta-da! Hey, everybody. Oh, so excited to be back on the stream, painting, working with minis, talking about RPGs that are coming up. 2020, the tail end of 2020 kicked my butt pretty bad. So I am super happy to be back, streaming, painting miniatures, playing games with my friends. We actually have a lot planned for this year. We'll be playing a lot of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Me and my buddy Joe JJ Rees uh, have played a couple of games of Marvel Crisis Protocol and fallen in love with it. We've had the game for over a year now. Gave it to me for my birthday in 2021, and so we skipped all of 2022, almost all of 2022. Actually, pretty much all of 2022. And so I'm very excited to get back into playing Marvel Crisis Protocol. Great game, great game. Surprised at how simple the mechanics are and how fluid everything is. Very dynamic. I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go. Unless you're very lucky and are able to take out a couple of models, and then maybe you skip that half of your opponent's turn. It just depends on how well you're doing. But had a lot of fun. A bunch of my Kickstarters got delayed. I had Monster Hunter World, the board game, VHS, Metroscape, a few other Kickstarters that I had done that I was wanting to stream here on the Big Bad Nerd Dad stream, that we will be picking up and doing this year, 2023. A lot of stuff coming in the next few months. Zombicide Dead or Alive finally came in, so we'll be painting up some of that. Actually, there's way too many for me to be painting that all by myself, so I'm going to invoke the help of the Big Bad Nerd Fan. We're going to be doing a couple of family paint nights, and so I'll be streaming some of that as well. Because it's really, really good to get the family together and do arts and crafts and just sit down and talk and fellowship. That's really what I think tabletop gaming is the best for, is for fellowship and bringing people together, right? Like the old days. We wanted to be like the old days when we all sat down and played games and had fun. I gotta be careful. We get a new dog. It's a German Shepherd mix, and he's big. Might sneak up on me. But anyway, so very excited. Very, very excited. I don't know who that. Jesse Woodwood, finally a stream. Jesse, thank you very much for watching, brother. Super excited. Multi-stream. See if this works. Does this work? Let me see. First shot. Baloo. Oh well. I'm gonna go over here. Everything. I'm good. All right. Yeah, we're doing good. Woot woot. Monkey. All right. So very excited for this. Marvel Crisis Protocol. Just fell in love with it. Started playing Spider Foes. We've had models for quite a while now. I painted up a couple on the stream. I painted up my Venom, Ultron, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin. I have those here as examples of things that I have painted while I finish up my Carnage. And then we'll be working on a few other minis to round out my team. Marvel Crisis Protocol is really neat in that you don't need a ton of models to play. You literally could have like 6 to 10 models and play a bunch of different ways. So I've decided to go with Spider-Man villains. They're called Spider Foes. And in doing that, I can also pick out certain characters from the Criminal Syndicate. There's Kingpin. Just by adding Kingpin and a few other baddies like Rhino, it changes my entire team layout, changes entirely how I play. Makes it really, really neat so that I have different options for how to play and how to bring things out. I will be doing that a lot on the stream. I'll be painting a lot of miniatures and going over the games that me and Joe have. Uh, Me and Joe are going to try and play 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm pretty excited about that. Gaming on a weeknight is new for me as the Big Bad Nerd Dad. The babies are finally old enough to where I can play during the week, lay them down for bed. Oh yeah, a good point by JJ Reese. It's not just kill, 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 kill. Like there are victory points that you can accrue by holding objectives, by picking up different things on the field, by saving civilians and things like that. Really neat how they brought everything together and make everything cohesive in that way. You can win. You can win by killing off your opponent's entire team, but it's fairly difficult. Like you have to have a coordinated attack, and if your opponent is playing very defensively or turtles, like that could not be a viable option. So you have to go for a victory point win. And really, I think it's much easier to go for the victory points and then try and knock out your opponent than just go in with the idea of I'm just going to steamroll everything he throws at me. Because a lot of these characters have very good defensive moves, have very good things to keep themselves alive, to keep themselves on the board, playing, doing things. And it's a very neat game. I come from playing more games where there's tons of miniatures on the field. In the past 2 games that me and Joe have played, there have only been 10 models on the field. I had 5, he had 5, and even that can fluctuate. Like even that can be, we could have 3 or 4, or we could have 5 or 6, depending on point values and how we want to play it out. But it changes every single time. It's very dynamic, and it's really cool to see all these models that we've seen, all these characters that we've seen for years and years and years. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has boosted superheroes into popularity that beyond what was originally imagined for them. So it's really neat to see all these characters just come out, be alive. Now we get to play as them. There was games before it, right? There was a Marvel Miniatures game, and there was a HeroClix. I thoroughly enjoy HeroClix, made by WizKids. It's a great, fun game, but it's not nearly as tactical and uh, fluid as Marvel Crisis Protocol. I say fluid because there's a lot of different things you can do. Positioning is much, much different from what it is in HeroClix. HeroClix is on a grid. This you actually move your characters across the board using measurement tools. Not a tape measure, but actual little cool widgets that they give you with the core game. But that's Marvel Crisis Protocol. We'll be painting up Carnage today. I started him last year. Because me and Joe had been talking about playing Marvel Crisis Protocol for a very long time. And I finally worked up the nerve. Actually, it was Joe. Joe said, you know what, we need to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. Let's pick a night. Pick a random night, Tuesday. Sabrina works late on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so he's like, "Oh, come over Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll play. Put the girls down. Once you get the girls to bed, we'll stay up, play a game, talk about what we're doing, and figure it out." And I'm so glad that he did, because this is a fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. The miniatures are beautiful. They look super cool. Let's switch up the viewpoint. The double webcam. That's right. We're high tech. Have multiple cameras. Oh, here is my Venom. My Carnage. We'll be painting today. You can see he is a very dynamic pose. None of his major body is on the actual base itself. It's just these tendrils that are sticking into the ground. So that can be a little wibbly wobbly. Here go some of the pieces that I painted before in the stream. My Green Goblin, I'm very proud of. He's a very good leader. I know Joe was getting sick of him the other game because he starts off just chunking bombs, and I was actually using an older card, so I need to figure out what the newer statistics are for this character. But really do like this. Nikki, thank you for watching. I see you there. So again, all of these characters are going to be from Marvel. Smoke on him looks 6. Thank you very much. The smoke effect was actually taught to me by another painter, John. Can't remember his last name. Nice, super nice guy in the community. Gave me some tips on how to paint that smoke. Came out perfect, exactly how I wanted it. Adam Little, thank you very much for watching. So here's my Ultron that I painted. Thanks for the reacts. Every little bit helps. If you share this stream, if you react to it, let people know, hey, this guy likes Marvel. The Marvel. I painted up Ultron. I never plan on using him. I just wanted to paint him up because he was the biggest model inside of the core box. Technically, I could use him. You could use anybody really. But I felt like he was one of the models that I might have used. But now that I got Christmas presents and other things that Christmas presents and other things that came in, working on that. Here's my Venom. Oh, Ultron rules now, especially in Spider Foes. You know, Adam, I completely understand that. I'm sure he rules in competitive play, but the truth of the matter is that I'm strictly going for fluff. Like I love playing my Spider Foes with Venom, Carnage, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Kraven the Hunter, Lizard, Mysterio. Rhino is coming out, so I can't wait to throw Rhino in there. I'm not a big fan of super competitive play. I really, really love to just get in there and have fun and do crazy random things. So I will always play Venom. Venom is my absolute favorite character. And look, just like JJ Reese, Joe's saying that no one can beat Ghost Rider, which he knows for a fact that Venom and Carnage tore up Ghost Rider in our first game. So somebody can beat Ghost Rider. But that's Joe's favorite character. So he's going to try and include Ghost Rider in every single list, right? Because he wants to play Ghost Rider. I want to play Venom. I want to make sure that Venom goes in, knocks out as many creatures, as many people as possible, eats as much as possible. Staple, Spider-Man villain, Doc Ock. I had a lot of fun painting him because he's got these really cool like little tendrils, his tentacles. So I painted these up. And again, these models are quite a bit bigger than your standard 40K or other models. Really, they get even bigger than what I've shown you before because I have a poor guy's been sitting on the shelf. I have a Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut. I have this really cool Colossus with the Juggernaut helmet. This is for a special event, and that's another thing that I really like about Marvel Crisis Protocol. Is not just geared towards competitive play. They have a lot of organized play where it can be cooperative. You're trying to take down, Magneto or the Colossus Juggernaut, or I think another one is there's a symbiote like a Carnage separation anxiety event. So there's lots of different things that you can do with Marvel Crisis Protocol than just playing competitive 1-versus-1 games. And I really, really like that right now with gaming in general, right? I really want there to be ways to play with other people because, again, I genuinely feel that gaming is meant for a community, for bringing people together. Uh, Models that I have on in queue to be painted are the lizard. He's a big boy. He's really neat. He's popping out of a sewer grate, out of a sewer. There's all those little water splash effects on the bottom. He's angry. Mysterio, another beautiful model, really well done. Has these smoke tendrils going all over him. Plan on painting him up. And he's next. If I'm going to paint anybody next after Carnage, right? Because Carnage has done a lot of work for me. And again, I'm a big symbiote fan. Venom, Carnage. I really hope they bring Toxin in. If they bring Toxin in, I'm definitely going to get the Web Warrior stuff. Playing with Spider-Man and things like that because I'm a huge Toxin fan. Any good guy symbiote character, I really want to play as them. But Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter has been crazy good for me. Very mobile, very in your face. Bit blap bloop, stab stab stab. Uh, Jump around. He's secured a few objectives for me. Dashed in, popped somebody, and then dashed right back out to get back to the objective. Had a lot of fun, and can't wait to see what else I can pull off with these guys, my spider foes. And then our good buddy JJ Rees 00 Joe made the huge mistake of getting me a Christmas present in the Kingpin. So while I was just playing Spider Foes, now I'm going to swap out Ultron for Kingpin, and I can go back and forth between Spider Foes and the Criminal Syndicate, which the Criminal Syndicate is very good at holding objectives and things like that. So I definitely want to make sure that I am seeing what scenarios we're going through, seeing how different things are going to be played, because it gives me an entirely different way to play. Right, the Criminal Syndicate is very good at scenario play. While I have one game with the Spider Foes in scenario play, I feel a lot better beating people up with my Spider Foes. Carnage and Venom are just Carnage, Venom, and Kraven are just monsters in melee. With Doc Ock offering range support and the Green Goblin, helping flip damage dice and defending dice and throwing pumpkin bombs from a little while away. So I very good, a lot of fun. Gosh, where are my paintbrushes going? Somebody's toys in the water hole. There we go. So I have my little paint dish. I've really fallen in love with these Pro Acryl paints from Monument Hobby. Oh no. Got this weirdo in my chat. I got this weirdo in my chat. Help me. Alright, well, moving forward. Sorry, I don't have any mods, so I gotta ban people myself. There we go. All right. Okay. So again, the Pro Acryl paint line from Monument Hobbies has been fantastic. Very fluid. Uh, don't have to worry about it drying out too fast. What I get. Alright, so with Carnage, he is a bit of a bruiser. I need to paint some lines on this bad boy. So first I'm going to start with the warm gray. Before I paint his major bits white, I'm going to paint them a warm gray. Just so that I can get some color on there. He's got some eyes. Pointer brush. There we go. I've been saving this one for a rainy day. And that rainy day has come. So Adam, I believe you. I believe that Ultron is great in Spider Foes, but he is not in my Spider Foes. Okay. Proper brush maintenance is necessary in these crucial times. So I'm going to get Carnage's eye painted. And just like most people, most, not all, he has two eyes. So it goes all the way from back there. And again, I don't need all of it, just a little bit. There, there. A little too much paint. There we go. You know, he's got those kind of mean alien eyes. Dry off this brush a little bit. Knock off some of that paint, and then we're gonna dry brush his teeth. so that his teeth are a little more prominent. And this is just a simple little bit that we're going to do because we're going to go back later with a brighter white to really make them pop. So the rest of him is going to be fairly easy. And I'm just going to use a coal black, do some lining. I'm going to line a lot of the veiny bits. Specifically on his weapons. So as you can see, I'm not holding the model. I used to just hold the model and turn it, but I've learned that if you use something else to turn it, you can get better control. They sell really, really fancy model holders. Like at my favorite friendly local game shop, Space Cadets Gaming, right here in technically Oak Ridge North, but it's just north of Houston. So the cool part about Carnage is that his body is all red with like oily black tendrils that go through it. So you don't have to be super precise with what you're doing because you want it to look a little messy. Wherever there's a barb, I'm going to paint black. His fingertips. In there with his fingertips. Nice and easy. Which model was my favorite to build? That's definitely going to be Carnage. Carnage doesn't normally look like this. I added on extra limbs, which lots of other people have done, and it just made sense. In the comic books, Carnage is not a good guy. He uses a lot of weapons and changes his body into the most dangerous things possible. He's constantly putting others in danger. But in the Marvel Crisis Protocol, I've played him several times now, and the truth of the matter is, in the game, he can be extremely devastating if your opponent's not being careful and groups up their characters, or if you have ways to push and pull their characters or move them into position. Carnage will just tear up a bunch of models at one time. I really like that. So, as far as my favorite model to build, definitely Carnage. He pops off of the comic book pages perfectly in this game. I mean, my favorite character of all time is Venom, but Carnage was definitely the most fun to see. Like, oh, where do I want to put this arm? Where am I going to put? He's got extra arms. Like the model kit has extra arms, so you can do all kinds of stuff with them. I got to add a lot of stuff onto him. That's probably why I should invest in a real model holder. He's popping off my pill bottle with sticky tack. He has all these little wicked barbs and stuff. They just jut off in different places. Really showing you just how dangerous him as a character and as a model he is. He is going to do a lot of damage. He has done a lot of damage. I've used them, like I said, twice now, and each time if he hasn't dazed or knocked out a couple of characters in a round, he's put in work. Get y'all some better lighting. And again, the game has oh, both, Joe, both. No, I think one time you accidentally moved Luke Cage in too close, and then I specifically moved Carnage after an attack. I think I dazed one of your characters, fired off Paint the Town Red, moved them, and then got into a better position to hit. I think I hit 4 of Joe's 5 characters in one play, and it was pretty messy. And so I actually like the way he looks very much. So next what I'm going to do is paint his base. Going to lighten up this gray, give me a nice little concrete gray. I'm going to slather that all over his base. So before painting my minis, I always prime them and then Zenthal highlight so that I can catch all the shadows and see how things need to be painted to make them look cooler, bring out extra details. Poop. Paint that base. And so another thing is that this is extremely therapeutic for me. Painting miniatures, painting bases, assembling miniatures, assembling terrain, and painting terrain. I love every aspect of this hobby. And it's a firm belief that painted models play better. So I'm getting a double bonus out of all of this, in that I paint all my own models, I assemble all my own models. I get a double sense of pride in that. Not that there's anything wrong with having somebody else paint them for you or not painting your models. Just for me, it's very therapeutic. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about today is the fact that we didn't do much last year. I fell into a little pit of despair, and I didn't want to play games. I didn't want to paint. I didn't have the energy to stream. I was just working and taking care of my beautiful little girls, taking care of my wife. And it got rough for a little bit. And it's okay to take a break. Sometimes you need to take a break, to recenter yourself, to make sure things are all right. Get back in there and get ready for another day. And that's not entirely true, Joe. I have your Luke Cage right here. He doesn't look like a Green Army man. You can definitely tell that he's Luke Cage. Another thing too, Joe, is that I've been painting miniatures for 14, 15 years now. I've been painting miniatures for 15 years, so I've got a lot more experience on my side for painting miniatures. I'm really hoping to get back into Wild West Exodus and Heavy Gear this year too. Had a lot of fun playing those games last year. Made a lot of new friends. Okay, so it's practically done. What I'm going to do now is what I do with all my characters is paint the edge of the face black, just so it has a nice, clean, uniform look to it. Just that lip. Gotta be extra careful. I'm so happy to be back streaming, painting miniatures, playing games. It really is the therapy that I needed. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and remember what you love and prioritize what you love, right? My pastor always said that your family is your first priority. Absolutely, 100%. Your first priority, and it's your first mission field. After that, God will lead you into the places that make sense for you. And for me, I believe it's really fellowship and playing games. If I haven't talked about it here before on the stream, it's the fact that I have lots of friends and people that I've met through gaming that have really helped shape my life as an adult, as the big bad nerd dad. I'm very grateful for all of them that are here and the ones that have passed on. Right. So, as far as I know, Pro Acryl does not have shades or washes or tones. Um, they have amazing paints. But I do love to use. This is Army Painter, Gale Force 9 Army Painter washes. I'm going to use a mix of strong tone and dark tone to give me like splotches on my concrete. Dip that on here. One dot. Trying to cover everything. Strong tone. Yep. A little bit of that. Mix it. And as you can see, the gray is practically dry, but it's not dry enough. So I'm going to wait just a little bit. We're going to take this time to do a quick commercial break. If you've been watching the stream, you've seen this is just water. I only drink water. If you've been watching the stream, you'll notice that I have a little sponsor banner right about here. And it'll pop up with my two main sponsors. We have the Aegis Creative Company and Space Cadets Gaming. The Aegis Creative Company has been helping me out for years. They have printed miniatures for me. They have printed terrain for me. They've printed. They're a creative company that specializes in printing. They've printed Star Wars, Destiny, Dice. They've printed. What's that game I love so much? Arkham Horror, the living card game. Scenarios for me. They've printed the World of Warcraft trading card game scenarios for me. They've printed all kinds of stuff for me. The Aegis Creative Company has always been there for me, and the main guy there, Julio, has been like a brother, a big brother, pumping me up. Oh, Mike, you're doing a fantastic job. I love your stream. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it for the community. Keep getting people together playing games. So I always want to make sure that I give a shout out to the Aegis Creative Company. Because they're local here to Houston. I'm in Houston, Texas, if you're watching from afar. And so they'll 3D print stuff for you. They have resin printers. They have PLA printers. They can print. They're printing their own board game, like they're making their own board game. So they're coming out with that kind of stuff. Really nice card stock for card games, and they're the nicest people in the world. Master fabricator Julio and his team over at Aegis Creative Company, right there. Top-notch people, good-hearted people that want people to game. My second sponsor is going to be Space Cadets Gaming. Space Cadets is constantly calling me in for all different types of gaming stuff. Soulforge Fusion is a really neat card game that Richard Garfield just came out with. He developed it with the maker of Ascension. I'm not too familiar with Ascension, but Richard Garfield is the guy that created Magic the Gathering. He created Keyforge. He's created. Hold on a second. I got a cough. He created. Ooh. Let me get that all down there. King of Tokyo, King of New York. Why am I joking? Um, and they called me out for SoulForge Fusion, Magic the Gathering, the new D&D miniatures game that they came out with. A bunch of events that they hold at their game store. And so I always want to make sure that I pump up them because they've also donated games to my stream so I can play it on the stream. They've always asked me to come help out with terrain and things. So again, Space Cadets Gaming is another local small business that's geared towards the community of everything. Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, all types of board games, RPGs. They're heavily invested in building the gaming community through fellowship, getting together in person, which is something that I'm very much geared towards, right? And I'm very happy to have both of them as sponsors of the stream. Because without them, it'd be really, really hard for me to get a lot of these materials. I'm just one man with a full-time job and streaming for fun. And so they donate sometimes money so that I can buy different products, or they donate the products so that I can show them off. And so I'm very, very thankful for them as sponsors. I'm not crying because I'm emotional. There's something trying to kill me from the inside. And I've drank all my clean water. And all I have left is paint water. I think I hear a duck outside. Anyway, back to the painting. Joe, you asked me, sounds good. What idea do you have for Craven? Craven the Hunter has a very normal comic book paint scheme. Oh, here he is in the flesh. That's going to be a furry lion's mane, and then in the a lot of ways that I've seen him painted, he has like khaki pants, but I want to do his leopard print pants with like a very bright red loincloth bit coverall, and of course that's all muscle. That's all muscle, man. He just wears a vest and pants, boots. I'm gonna paint these up to look very tribal. I'm not going to go too far off the reservation when I'm painting Craven. He'll be very, very recognizable. I don't plan on doing anything too crazy with him. Now for the Kingpin, a lot of the Kingpins that are out there have him in his all-white suit. But I've seen him in a dark, like a navy blue and green, navy blue suit with green pinstripes, and I think I want to try that with him. I'm not very good with very thin, detailed lines, but I've been watching a couple of other YouTubers and their painting tricks, specifically Black Magic Craft. If you haven't watched Black Magic Craft on YouTube, he's fantastic at painting and terrain tutorials. I highly recommend him. He's very good. Cherry Krolchek from Etten Games actually showed me him years ago, and I fell in love with his YouTube channel, because he shows all different kinds of stuff. My favorite thing that he does is budget terrain. So he'll just take scraps of whatever he has left over from building minis or building other terrain, and even stuff just laying around the house like water guns or just random bits of plastic that he has left over from packaging, and he'll make really cool terrain out of it. That's something that I'd like to do. I just don't have the time or a really full built out way to do it. It takes a little bit more planning on my part to do, and not that I'm lazy, but we've got a lot of stuff to do. So now his base is dry, right? It was primed white, painted over it with that dark neutral gray, and now I'm going to go back in with this wash and paint different areas. Give it a little light scrub. And so the cool thing about the wash is that if there's any recesses, like these cracks, if you just go over it very lightly, it'll bring out the definition of that crack. The recesses. There's little dips and bumps in the base itself, like there's chips or natural divots that happen when you have concrete, right? The air bubbles and things that get created. So the models are very, very detailed, and the washes will bring that out. And I'll go back and forth between the strong tone and the dark wash so that it gives it a little variance of color. Oop, that's my dog barking. Why? And because these characters are fighting on the dirty, grimy streets of New York, or wherever they may be, you don't have to be very precise, right? I mean, as long as you don't see clear brushstrokes, the the dirtiness and the nastiness of that base look natural. And give it a lot of character. There's some more down in here. And for my last trick, I'm gonna do exactly like I said I was. I got this gold titanium white. So now that I know that his eyes are completely dry and so are his teeth, I painted those with a bright warm gray. Get that out. Bright warm gray. And I'm going to go back over them with this bold titanium white because Carnage's features are very stark contrast. You know, he's got the red body with oily blackness that sort of goes in and out of it, and then his teeth and his eyes are bright, clean white. And again, I really love these Pro-Aquarel paints because they come in a dropper twist top. You twist it open a little bit. I'm literally going to drop just one little dollop. Oop, actually, that should be enough right there. That white just fell right out. Take the excess that pops out of the top, drop it right there, and the rest on my paper towel. Use my very fine tip brush. Grab just a little bit. Paint right over what I just painted. Completely white. There we go. So you can see that white, that white, that white to this warm neutral gray. It popped a lot more. And we want that. We want that seen from across the table. We want that seen. Ooh, that looks good. I really like that. I'm going to take the white again. I'm going to take just a little bit off my brush. When I say so we can just dry brush the teeth. And just and now he looks very menacing. What I actually think I want to do. Take a little bit more of this dark wash. This shadow wash. This dark wash. Dark tone. I want to fill in those cracks. There's like cracks. Not the cracks, but lines in the concrete. I want to make those more prominent. So just take a little bit here for y'all. Then I'll just go. Fix this. Same thing over here. Drop it in. Okay. Excess. That's it. Done. Oh. Puppy. A little bit of touch up. Gray. Right. Punch is. I feel like I got exactly what I was going for. part that you won't see is that I'm going to seal him with a matte sealer, and then I'll probably go back over with a high gloss varnish and hand paint on over certain black parts so that they look oily, but then they really pop. But that's it. Carnage now joins the rest of my painted spider foes. And next up will be Raven the Hunter, followed by Kingpin. I'm very intimidated by the lizard, so the lizard's going to take some time for me to do. Mysterio, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Taskmaster will be my 9th, and then later this week I'll pick up the Rhino and finish it out. Finish out my Spider Foes slash Criminal Syndicate. Get ready to have some fun with those guys. Beating up Joe as often as possible. Thank y'all very much for joining me today. My first stream back. I was very excited to get in here and stream my painting, talk a little bit about what's going on in the future. All the Kickstarters that should be coming in over the next few months. We'll be doing VHS by Aces Games. Very horror story. It's a horror themed RPG. Very much like, yeah, Joe, you're bound to win one day. You're absolutely right. Statistically, you have to. We'll be doing VHS. We'll be doing Metroscape. That's the new City of Mists sci-fi. I think of a good word, but like Netrunner, Kamigawa sort of feel RPG. I just got into Transformers RPG, so I definitely want to run some Transformers RPG. Tiny Cthulhu. We've been having a lot of fun with Tiny Cthulhu, me and my guys group. And I'll be developing a game with one of my friends on the stream as well. We can't say what it is, but I can tell you that we're developing a very fun RPG based off a very popular video game. I just don't know how much we're allowed to talk about it, but we'll be doing that on the stream and off the stream, getting all the rules correct and things, and then we'll be playing the game on stream. In July, we'll be doing another 24-hour stream. We missed it this past year. Health concerns and things like that. So we'll be bringing back our 24-hour stream for Extra Life, and we'll be doing not a 24-hour stream, but we'll be doing a very large community event for the Houston Food Bank this fall to gear them up for Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's definitely where my heart is in doing those kind of things for the community, and then that being led by gamers, because we have the tools and the abilities to bring people together to do more than just play games and be nerdy. Like we can give back. There are plenty of people in the community and plenty of ways for us to give back, right? We can play games, we can take donations, we can spread the word, right? We all have our different abilities, and I want to make sure that we're using everything that we possibly can to help those in need. So those are some things that I'm very excited about coming up in the very near future. And I may stream again tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. It takes a bit to set everything up, and we're still getting the rules for Marvel Crisis Protocol, but I definitely want to play it on the stream as well. And we definitely will be back next Monday. I promise I will not miss any more Mondays unless there's something dire happening. But thank you again very much for watching the stream. Had an awesome time painting and getting back into the hobby. I hope you had an awesome time watching and hanging out with me tonight. If you liked it, please tell people about the Big Bad Nerd Dad stream channel. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube. So if you missed it, you can find me on YouTube and you can share my YouTube videos. They're all my live streams. Nothing is edited. I don't have any editing power right now. But I do plan on doing some game tutorials and throwing those up on uh, my YouTube for all the different games that we plan on playing. Zombicide, Fairy Horror Story, VHS, and Metroscape. Also, we'll be bringing back Frostgrave because Frostgrave is something that a lot of my friends have been talking about, and it's something that it's another tabletop war game that I'm passionate about. All right. So thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much for hanging out all night. We'll see you on one of our Joe versus Schmoes, playing some of our favorite 1v1 games. All right.